It was the 10th day of the Diddy trial in a big court in Manhattan. This trial was very famous. Everyone in the music world was watching. Then something happened that no one expected. It changed everything. The judge said a name out loud, and everyone in the room went quiet. The name was Jennifer Lawrence. She was not at a movie event. She was not smiling for cameras. She was in court, speaking the truth. She was a secret witness before, but now everyone knew her name. She had seen something very bad, and she couldn't keep it secret anymore. She talked about a letter. A night in Beverly Hills. A dark hallway no one was supposed to talk about. And a warning written many years before Cassie ever said anything. The letter said, "I won't let you buy me. I won't disappear. I won't be the next Cassie." This wasn't just a story. It was a warning for the whole music world. Being famous doesn't keep you safe. Being quiet does. But Jennifer didn't want to be quiet anymore. When she stood up to speak, it didn't feel real. People in the court whispered. Some were shocked. Some were confused. No one thought she would be part of this trial. She wasn't there to talk about a movie. She was there to tell the truth. The first thing they showed wasn't a photo or video. It was a letter. The letter was old, ripped, and written in 2012. The lawyer read it out loud. The letter said, "To the person in control, this is your last warning. I won't let you buy me. I won't disappear. I won't be the next Cassie." That one line made everyone in the room feel cold. Jennifer wrote that letter when she was only 22. This was before Cassie's story even came out. The judge said, "Miss Lawrence, you can speak in your own words." So she did. Jennifer said she was invited to a special party in Beverly Hills. They said it was a fun event for young actors. It sounded like a dream. But it wasn't. It was a trap. "I was young," she said. "They told me I was lucky. But I wasn't. I was being used." She remembered everything. A black car with no license plate picked her up. Her phone was taken away at the gate. She had to sign something, but no one told her what it really was. There were no cameras. Only red lights, dark hallways, men in suits, and women wearing masks. The courtroom was quiet. Then the lawyer asked the question everyone wanted to know. "Did you recognize any of the women?" Jennifer nodded. "Yes. One of them was an actress. I won't say her name. But she was famous and very scared." Jennifer took a deep breath. Then she said something that made the jury sit up straight. "They said it was just a game, and I didn't have to play." But that wasn't true. Once the door closed, no one could leave early. No exits. No second chances. You smiled, you acted like it was fun, and you hoped you didn't go into the wrong room. Then she told them something worse. There was a door with no name. Only a number. She saw one girl come out crying. Another girl never came out at all. Jennifer looked straight ahead. She didn't need to say what happened. Everyone already understood. She kept thinking, is this where all those scary stories come from? And then, boom. The lawyer showed something big. Exhibit 17A. A secret report from a doctor about what happened. Jennifer's own team confirmed what happened to her that night. She came back scared, shocked, and feeling like she wasn't really there. That week, she disappeared from the media. People were told she was just tired. But the truth was different. Jennifer was broken. "I didn't sleep for 3 days," she said. "I kept seeing that hallway. The smell, the sound. I still hear it sometimes." Then came a moment that made the whole courtroom go quiet. Someone asked her, "Did you see anything criminal?" Jennifer waited for a moment, then said, "Not by the law. But yes, morally." She told them about one girl who looked even younger than her. Jennifer asked someone, "Who is she?" And they answered, "She's just here for training." Jennifer's voice started to shake. It was like that girl was just an object, not even a real person. The judge gave her time to take a break. But Jennifer kept going. Then someone read from her old 2012 letter. "I don't want the car. I don't want the contract. I don't want to be someone's puppet with good lighting. I want to survive this industry. That's all." The judge asked if she wanted to stop. But Jennifer shook her head. She said, "It doesn't matter who I am. Fame doesn't protect you in rooms like that. No one is famous. You're either useful or replaceable. At that moment, no one saw a movie star anymore. They saw a survivor. After she finished speaking, the whole courtroom was silent. Even the person typing notes waited before writing. Jennifer said she would not give interviews. Her voice, her letter, and this moment in court. This was her only statement. But then came another question. Miss Lawrence, did anyone from Mr. Combs's circle contact you again? Jennifer didn't answer right away. Then she slowly nodded. Yes. It happened in 2017. The whole room leaned in. It had been 5 years since that night in Beverly Hills. 5 years of acting like everything was okay. Going to award shows, smiling on red carpets. But behind the scenes, it started again. Jennifer said after she won her Oscar and became famous from the Hunger Games. She began getting strange messages. Not direct ones. More like whispers through other people. She got invited to panels, retreats, and events. But one invite felt strange. It came from a woman. Not a Hollywood name. She was called a creative liaison. She didn't email Jennifer directly. She used a secret, hidden email and sent it through someone who used to work for Jennifer. The message sounded soft and friendly. We're putting together a quiet retreat for smart, strong women. It's hosted by Sean Love Combs in Santa Ana, off the grid. No press, just peace. Jennifer didn't answer. She didn't want to go. But then, a week later, her phone rang. No name. No number. Blocked. And here comes the part that shocked everyone in court. Jennifer answered. I still don't know why I picked up, she said. Maybe I was curious. Maybe I wanted to close the door on it all. The woman said her name. Ariel. Jennifer confirmed this call happened. She remembered every word. Ariel said. It's not like last time. The house is gone. The tunnels are sealed. This is about rebirth. People in the courtroom gasped. The judge banged the gavel. Order! Even the lawyer looked surprised. He asked, Miss Lawrence, what does she mean by tunnels? Had you ever talked about them before? Jennifer said, no one knew I saw the hallway. Or the second room. The padded one. I never told anyone. Not even my family. So how did Ariel know? She said Ariel's voice was too calm. Like she was reading from a script someone else wrote. Then came the last line Ariel said on the call. You don't have to do anything you're not comfortable with. Just show up. Walk through. That's all he needs. Jennifer hung up, her hands shaking. She told her legal team. They told her, don't answer. Let it go. But the next day something happened. On the movie set of Mother. She found an envelope in her trailer. There was no name. No return address. Inside was a copy of the same paper she refused to sign in 2012. It was an NDA. Across the top, in thick black ink, one word was written. Reminder. Jennifer paused in court. Then she softly said, that broke me. That message on the envelope? It was like they were saying, we're still watching. We still own your story. Jennifer didn't tell anyone about it. Not one person. But that night, she wrote something new in her private journal. The court called it Exhibit 17E. She wrote, if I disappear, send this letter. It wasn't an accident. It started in the Red Room. It ends here. The courtroom went silent. Even the people on the other side didn't say a word. Then the lawyer asked, Miss Lawrence, did you ever think about telling the world? Jennifer looked up. Yes, she said. In 2021, Cassie's name suddenly disappeared from the news. Jennifer started hearing whispers. People said there was a secret deal. Something about videos and a hidden vault. That's when Jennifer realized. It wasn't just about what happened to her. It was also about what almost happened to others. She said names. Cassie. Aubrey. Even someone from her own team. That's when the judge called for a short break. But no one moved. Because what Jennifer was saying wasn't just scary. It was about a whole system. A system made to keep people quiet. And she was never supposed to speak again. When court started again, the mood had changed. No more talk about rooms or secret papers. Now it was about people. The next question. Miss Lawrence, did any famous person ever mention your silence? Jennifer nodded. Just once, in 2019, after the Oscars. An older actress she barely knew pulled her aside. She whispered, "I saw your name once on a list. Be careful who's still watching." The court asked Jennifer to say who it was. She said no. "She's scared too," Jennifer said. The lawyers didn't ask again. Instead, they showed Exhibit 17G, a photo. Jennifer took it herself. It showed an envelope on her doorstep in April 2022. Again, no name, no note. But this time, something was taped inside. A flash drive. Jennifer never plugged it in. She gave it to her lawyers. They checked it. It was blank. But 2 weeks later, something scary happened. A tabloid photographer secretly took pictures of Jennifer at a private event. He shouldn't have known she was there. She never posted it. It wasn't on her calendar. It was invite only. Then, he vanished. Gone. No one could find him. The police found his phone up in the hills. It was broken. The screen smashed. The battery gone. The case is still open. Jennifer's voice cracked in court. She said, "I didn't want to connect the dots. I didn't want to believe it. But what if that flash drive was just a test? What if someone else got hurt because I didn't play along?" When everyone came back from break, the judge reminded them. They couldn't include guesses in the official record. But the feelings Jennifer shared stayed in the air. Then the lawyer showed something new. Exhibit 17H. It was a memo, a note from a PR company linked to Diddy's business. The government found it during a search. It explained how to deal with young people making accusations. One line had Jennifer's name. It was hidden before but now shown. It said she wouldn't speak up because she wanted to protect her image. Jennifer looked down, then looked back up. "It's like they knew I wouldn't say anything because I cared too much about how people saw me. And they were right. For a while, I smiled. I kept working. But I haven't slept well in 10 years. Then came the biggest shock yet. Jennifer said she was offered hush money. Not directly. It came as fancy jobs, brand deals, and strange contracts. She told her team to say no, every time. Then the lawyer asked, "Do you think you were the only one?" Jennifer didn't move. "No," she said. "I think there were more. Some walked in. Some never walked out." No one said a word after that. Jennifer wasn't just talking about secrets anymore. She was talking about a system that still exists. And now, someone was finally recording it. The next question came. "Miss Lawrence, do you know anything about the house at 11 Star Island Drive in Miami?" Jennifer froze, then said, "Yes, I went there once a long time ago. It was 2014, while she was doing press for Mockingjay. She was invited to a small after-party hosted by a streaming executive. It was at a mansion on Star Island. She got there around 11 p.m. The lights were red. The music was loud. Phones were taken away at the door. She thought it was a casual party, but inside, it felt wrong. It didn't feel like a work event. It felt staged. There were 4 leather couches, a marble bar, and a wall of mirrors. She didn't stay long. A woman leaned over and whispered, "You don't belong here, sweetheart." That was enough. Jennifer left before midnight. But a few days later, while on tour for X-Men, Apocalypse, she found something waiting in her dressing room. A folded note, tucked inside a leather jacket given by the studio. She never told anyone. But she kept the note. It said, "That room had 3 cameras. One was above the mirror. Tell your team nothing." The court showed Exhibit 18A, a scanned copy of the note, with a date and time, confirmed by Jennifer's assistant. Then came the next question. "Did you ever see footage from that night?" Jennifer's voice got very quiet. "Not from that night," she said. "But I saw a clip once. It was on a laptop belonging to someone who had worked with both Diddy's brand team and a streaming company. The clip wasn't labeled. It was saved in a folder called Event. It was only 12 seconds long. No faces, but she recognized the room, the mirror, the chair. She told her lawyer. But the laptop got wiped. The person quit their job just days later. The defense said, "That's just gossip." The judge agreed. Not official evidence. But everyone in court could see it in Jennifer's eyes. She said, "I don't know what that footage was. But someone knew I saw it. Because 2 weeks later, my trailer was broken into. Nothing was stolen, but everything was moved." That's when it all made sense. This wasn't just about one party in 2012. It was all connected. There were cameras. There were files. There were people who knew. The lawyer closed his notebook. "One last question. Why did you finally speak up?" Jennifer answered clearly. "Because when I saw the word in that indictment, I knew it wasn't just about Cassie. It could have been me." The judge called for another break. And this time, even the jury looked scared. Because Jennifer Lawrence wasn't just a movie star anymore. She was a witness. And her silence had just ended. After the break, Jennifer came back. But this time she was different. Her voice was stronger. Clearer. Like she had waited years to say these words. The lawyer said, "Ms. Lawrence, let's talk about the contracts. The parts that were used to keep you quiet." Jennifer nodded. She didn't wait. "It started in 2013, she said. Jennifer looked right at the judge. She said, "There's a story people tell in Hollywood. They say if you work hard, keep quiet, and don't cause problems, you'll be okay. You'll get the jobs. You'll stay famous. You'll be safe." She paused and took a deep breath. But that was never true. "I worked hard. I followed every rule. I stayed quiet. And still they came for me. They tried to scare me. They tried to buy me. And when I said no, they tried to erase me." The courtroom got really quiet. Jennifer kept going. They didn't want the truth. They wanted control. They wanted silence. "But I'm not afraid anymore." Then the prosecutor stood up and showed the next piece of proof. Exhibit 19A. It was a contract from a big beauty company. Jennifer was supposed to be the face of their new product. But in the contract, there was a strange rule. It said she wasn't allowed to engage in public discourse about legacy-sensitive affiliations. Jennifer looked at the paper and said, "That's just fancy words for don't talk about the bad stuff." The judge asked if she signed it. "No," Jennifer said. "I walked away again. And every time I said no, I lost money, I lost jobs. But I didn't lose myself." The prosecutor then asked her one last question. "Ms. Lawrence, do you believe the public will understand why you stayed silent for so long?" Jennifer looked down, then looked up again. "I hope so," she said. "Because it wasn't just fear. It was survival. I was trying to stay alive in a place that punishes you for telling the truth. But I'm still here. And I'm finally telling it." The judge called for a break. And as the courtroom emptied, nobody said a word. Because now everyone knew. This wasn't just about one person, or one night, or one deal. It was about the whole system. And Jennifer Lawrence had just broken its silence. Jennifer took a breath, then said, "People say if you smile and play it safe, you'll be protected." She paused. "That's a lie. I did everything right, and they still came after me." Then she picked up a folded piece of paper from her lap and held it up. "You want to know why I'm not scared anymore?" she asked. "Because this," she waved the letter. "This existed before the movies, before the awards, before the magazine covers. This is who I was before the world knew my name. And now, it's who I am again." The court transcript ended that part with one powerful sentence. Witness steps down. Gallery remains silent for 37 seconds. Because in that moment, it wasn't just about the secrets behind closed doors. It was about the woman who walked back out, and still chose to speak. Final day on the stand. On her last day, Jennifer came back to the courtroom holding something new. It wasn't a file or contract. It was a warm envelope. She didn't explain it. Not yet. The prosecutor's voice softened. "Miss Lawrence, did you ever speak to Cassie Venturo after her civil case went public?" Jennifer nodded. "Yes. Just once. In private." She explained the moment. 2 women. A quiet hallway. No press. No cameras. Cassie hugged her and whispered, "Thank you for not asking questions. Back then, I couldn't have answered them. Jennifer confirmed she had seen Cassie before, years ago, in rooms they weren't supposed to be in. Rooms with candles. Rooms with guest lists. Rooms with watchers. Jennifer said, "Back then, I didn't understand what I was seeing. But Cassie did. And she still smiled. That memory stuck with her." Then the prosecutor brought up Exhibit 18H, a legal email chain. Cassie's lawyers had asked to confirm a letter dated 2012, years before any lawsuit. Jennifer explained how that letter ended up in court. "I gave it to my attorney during a deposition. He read it and asked, 'Are you ready for this to go further?' I said, 'Yes.' The letter was sealed. The judge read it privately. 6 months later, it was made public. Now Jennifer was asked to read the last lines out loud. She opened the letter slowly and read, 'I am not a toy. I am not a product. I am not a secret. If this letter ever reaches you, it means I chose myself over your silence. And you don't own me anymore.' She folded the paper and placed it back in the envelope. Then she added something not written in any transcript. 'The first time I saw Cassie, she was walking through a door she didn't want to open. Now, she's the reason I opened mine.' The room was completely silent. Then came the final bombshell. 'Miss Lawrence, did anyone from your former management try to stop you from testifying?' She didn't hesitate. 'Yes, 3 weeks ago.' She said someone sent a message through an old assistant. It said, 'We all have things to lose. Don't lose yours over this.' The court confirmed the message. It became Exhibit 18J. Jennifer said that night, she slept with a letter under her pillow. 'They already wrote my silence into so many contracts. I had to write my truth somewhere. And now, the world has heard it.' The prosecutor stepped back. The judge looked up. 'Miss Lawrence,' the judge asked, 'is there anything else you'd like to say on the record?' Jennifer didn't pause. 'Yes. I want to talk about what happens after.' She looked at the jury. After the cameras. After the standing ovations. After the world cheers for you, and forgets to ask if you're okay. Her voice cracked. 'I've held golden statues. I've worn gowns worth more than some people's homes. And none of it erased what I saw in that house.' She looked down. 'That house, it lives in your head. The smell. The cold. The silence. The mirrors.' Then she said something that made the court clerk stop typing. 'Sometimes, when I get a standing ovation, I wonder if one of the people clapping was in that room.' She looked out at the courtroom. Her eyes were clear. 'I'm not here for pity. I'm not here for revenge. I'm here for the girls watching this trial, wondering if anyone will believe them.' And then she said it. 'I believe you, even if you never say it out loud.' Then she reached into the envelope again, pulled out one final page. 'This was the last line I wrote in my journal. After that night, I got out. But I still carry the door inside me.' The judge leaned forward. Jennifer said her final words. 'I was never supposed to testify. I was supposed to vanish. Gracefully, quietly. That's what they always count on. But not this time. Because I'm still here. And now, the door's open.' Witness dismissed. The courtroom session ended at 4:52 p.m. And for the first time in 8 days, no one asked for the cameras to be let in. Because the truth had already escaped.